This video is an explanation of how we set up the player pools for Statis Bro Baseball. Statis Bro Baseball originally, we started with the 1979 season, and you could pick anyone you wanted to be on your team. The basic format, if you don't know, is this just my friend and myself. We each pick basically an all-star team, and we play each other 162 games. So anyone could be picked, even a bit player who had an insane season. So I mercilessly abused that. For instance, I had Matt Alexander, who had, I think, 14 at bats and had 7 hits. So I had him as my starting shortstop many games. He actually got injured multiple times, one time for over 80 games. So that was karma for me, well-deserved karma. I also picked a guy named Champ Summers, a great name, and he had a really good home run number. So I abused that for a little while. Then after that season, we decided to make 2 important changes. One was you can only use players who played a significant amount of games. We came up with some rules for that. And the other was we're going to limit our player pool to one league, either the American or the National League. Back then, there were no intra-league regular season games. There was a hard line between the American and the National League. The only time players played each other between the leagues was the All-Star Game and the World Series. So Avalon Hill reflected that in how they set up their cards. For instance, let's take a look at Bill Madlock. Bill Madlock, here he is. This is the Avalon Hill card for him. In 1979, he was traded at the end of June. He had played 69 games for San Francisco, and he would then play another 85 games for Pittsburgh, which also won him a ring. What a great trade for him, right? So what Avalon Hill did is they made one card for him on Pittsburgh, but they combined his stats for the whole season because he played on 2 National League teams. Let's take a look at the aforementioned Champ Summers. Champ Summers started the season with Cincinnati, played 27 games, and then at the end of May was traded to Detroit. And you can see how I had his Detroit card. But because he switched leagues, Avalon Hill made sure to split his plate appearances between the 2 leagues. So you had National League Champ Summers, and then you have American League Champ Summers. And this is something that I wanted to continue with Digital Diamond Baseball. So Digital Diamond Baseball their database is geared towards replaying a whole season, which is great, but it's a little different than what my friend and I are doing. So what I want to do is combine players who play for multiple teams, because DDBB has the stats separated between teams, so you can really try to simulate how that team did. So it's worth doing that. But for my needs, I want the players, how they did in that one league for the whole season. I want that represented. So let's take a look at how to do that. You can see I've already set up my National League 1994 season, which is the season my friend and I are about to play. But let's go to 1979, and I'm going to show you how to set up the player pool to handle these needs. First thing you want to do is, once you have imported a season, protect it. Don't mess with it. So I'm going to make a copy of the season for me to do my changes in. I'm going to call it NL 1979. So there we go. It's right here. And let's load it. So the first thing I want to do is, because this is NL only player pool, I want to get rid of any stats that have to do with the American League. And it's really easy to do that. There might be a faster way of doing this, but what I found is go into the team editor and then just delete every single American League team. Right here, delete. Yes. And that not only deletes the team, but it also gets rid of the stats for that team. So Champ Summers on Detroit, those stats, they should disappear. I want to keep the National League teams. Here, this one will get rid of Detroit Champ. See you later. Who else do we have here? Minnesota. Milwaukee was an American League team back then. The Yankees. Good riddance, Yankees. All right. There were 12 teams in each league. Here's Seattle, and finally Texas and Toronto. So right there, in just a few minutes, I've got only the national. I filtered out all the American League stats. So now let's go back. The next issue is how to combine stats. So if we go to the player editor, let's go check out, well, first of all, let's go look at Champ Summers and see that our changes actually took place. Our little filter here. Here's Champ Summers. There's one entry. There used to be two. There's only one, and it's his time on Cincinnati in his 27 games. Let's go look at Bill Madlock, though. Where's Madman? Here we go. All right. There are two entries for Bill Madlock. Pittsburgh and San Francisco. And we see 69 games for San Francisco, 85 for Pittsburgh. So what do we do now? I want to show you something too. There are filters here for the teams, the individual teams. One of them is called 1979 total, and there's no one in there right now, right? But if I go to 1979 Pittsburgh, then I can see Bill Madlock and his Pittsburgh stats. So let's do this. We're going to go to Edit All, and the creators of Digital Diamond Baseball, in their wisdom and foresight, have already given us the functionality to combine all duplicate players. Thank you very much. So we're going to combine their records. Then we're going to scroll down to Bill Madlock, and let's take a look. Here he is. Look, there's a third entry now. And if we click on it, you'll see he's part of Team 1979 Tote. Remember, that was an empty filter? Well, now he's on there, and he's got 154 games played, 560 at-bats. Here he is, all his combined stats, just exactly what we needed. If we scroll down to Pittsburgh, we'll see there's no Bill Madlock there anymore. If we go to dupe, you'll see here all the players that appeared on multiple teams. Here's where Bill Madlock's individual stats are for the separate teams. And if we go to 1979 total, these are all the players in the who played multiple teams in the National League. So what I like to do at this point is reassign them to teams. What I do is whatever team they played for last, I put them back on that team. And you could do it however you want, maybe whatever team they played more games for, but that's how I handle it. So for Bill Madlock, for instance, I would take him, put him on Pittsburgh, and save my changes. If we look at Pittsburgh now, he's not there, but I think that might just be we might just need to update that. So let me exit and then go back into the player editor. Now let's see what happens. There he is, Bill Madlock. So if I were to generate Statis Pro Baseball PDFs now using Digital Diamond Baseball, I would get the full season Bill Madlock, and he's no longer on San Francisco anymore. That's done. And my needs are met. So I will cover generating PDFs in another video, but this I'm leaving here for probably the 0 to 1 other people who are interested in this, and for posterity for when I need to do this again in, who knows, 5 or 6 years.